Oh, hey everybody, Joel D in the place to be. It is a President's Day Monday. Coming off my birthday weekend, I had a blast. Glad to be back though. And for you folks celebrating President's Day, we have a President's Day story coming up. It was brought to our attention it might be vandalism. Turns out it is not that. And we're going to be honoring Abraham Lincoln with a really cool wooden statue that is not as cool as it used to be. But we're going to start with our top story, which is the weather. Not Tom Russell yet. Let's go to what TJ Anthony did earlier today. He took us to Lancaster City where this happened. A huge tree dropped onto a house. Now, not a lot of damage. He actually went inside toward this place, checked things out. You see the awning there is busted, and they did have to break this thing down. From the road, it's going to take a lot too because it actually pulled up, there you go, from the curb. So the sidewalk is ruined as well. And it's just leaning against the house. Didn't make a lot of damage. They'll check that again once they get everything out of there. But it was a cleanup day. And you think they'd have more of these going on. They didn't. This was one of the only places that had some real damage. Some, random power outages as well. In the thousands, it's down to the hundreds now. We had some power out in my part of Lancaster County over the weekend as well for a little while. So I know a lot of people were dealing with this weather, dealing with this wind. But as much as it was whipping, it's nice that there wasn't anything more major than this one here in this situation. And even then, the damage not too bad. In Philadelphia, unfortunately, a tree did come down on a woman who was in a car and killed her. So it could definitely be worse when we're looking at that. As for worse, the violence has been bad in some areas, but not in others. Did you hear about this? 102 days for York City. They have not had gun violence. Yeah, it's up to 102. They made the announcement at 100. They're at 102 right now. At least person had a chance to talk to Commissioner Muldrow about this. They say it's their gang violence, make that group violence intervention programs that they go into. It's been working throughout the years. It's not an easy fix, but they say that they've made inroads. They know the communities better. This local policing and walking around in the community, it's not a new idea, but it tends to be working now, at least in York. And they're coming off some numbers that were rough over the past few years. The city in 2022 had a record of 26 homicides. 2024, it goes down to 5. None so far this year, obviously, with no gun violence at all in the last 102 days. That takes you into last year for a little bit. So great information there. Hope they can keep that up. Nice turnaround in York when it comes to safety there. This was also fortunate, but looks terrible. Did you hear about what happened in Canada? It's a jet that's going from Minneapolis to Canada, and that is not the way it's supposed to land. That is a Delta jet, 80 people on board. They're all alive, and it lands upside down. Crash landing in Toronto. This is the Pearson International Airport. Amazing pictures here. This is from inside. One of the passengers who had to escape out the back where they usually load up the sodas, taking video of that to get out of there. Wild situation. 18 people were sent to the hospital. One kid apparently is in critical condition with a few others, but at this point, no lives were lost, as bad as that looks. I've heard some firsthand accounts from this. One of the wings is gone. That they said it was scary, obviously, but people just hung on and then it was over. It was really fast, but pretty wild stuff that this happened. A couple of details. Let's see here. Great response. They got everybody out of there quickly. They put out the fires right after they happened. And this comes after we unfortunately had a scene of slew of airline trouble. Of course, there was the big one in D.C. where everybody died when a helicopter hit that passenger jet a few weeks ago. And then, of course, in the Philadelphia area, we had that plane go down as well that hit a house and killed some people. So a lot of damage in the air, a lot of fatalities. And this time it looks like it could have been a lot worse. So congratulations on them on it. Looks to be a real safe situation, which could have been deadly. Let's move on to this. We said President's Day, right? So if you're driving on Marietta Pike in Lancaster County, and you go by this one particular thing, it's this big head of Lincoln, and it's kind of looking down on you, a little judgy, but also very stoic and kind of cool. And it just is there. And years ago, there was a lightning strike, created this stump, but it was like half of the tree was left. And so they got a local carver to come and carve it. And that's the one in the back. They made 2. So very cool. This guy is a connoisseur of Abraham Lincoln things. He's 79 years old, and he said that he just loves Lincoln. fascination goes back forever. He realized the first 15 presidents didn't do anything about slavery. And of course, Abraham Lincoln did. So he wanted to always think about him. And he had this unique opportunity when the thing goes down in his yard to create it. It's been beautiful. It's been there for 10 years. But now, as you see, the beard looks like it was chopped off or something happened. And so we got contacted by a viewer that said, what's really going on here? We pursued it. We talked to the person who lives there. And he says it's just deterioration, unfortunately, that has knocked off the beard and part of the face. And we said, are you going to fix it? Are you going to get rid of it? And he said, no. I deteriorate. I'm 79. He's deteriorating. We'll still hang out and talk together and sip my coffee next to him, but we're just going to let time go on as it will. So kind of interesting there, but there's your President's Day story. And the question is answered. You have questions, we will answer them. So if you have comments to make on here or somewhere else, we'll be glad to try to get the answers if we can. But that one on President's Day was a nice one. We got some questions about a snowstorm that people have been rumbling about, especially on social media. You cannot believe everything you read. I saw one of the predictions, Tom. Mm-hmm. We're going to get between 0 and 60 inches.
That may be more accurate than you think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm wearing Orioles. I'm thinking spring.
I know. I can't wait. And pitchers and catchers are already doing their thing, Joe.
They're doing their thing.
Yeah. Let's do it. So here's the deal. No storm for us, just this. Take a look. This is the cold that has descended upon us here, even in late February. This is some pretty cold stuff. As you get later in the winter, it's harder for that Arctic air to really settle in and take over, but it has. So down into the mid-teens overnight, you can see not getting out of the 20s for highs tomorrow, and it's windy the whole time. So wind chills by tomorrow morning, 0. And then through the day in the single digits and very, very, very cold. So that's going to be the case. And then what happens to our storm? It just stays to the south. It was never a home run for us. There was talk of maybe the track coming a little bit more in our favor, but it just hasn't been that winter. So this one totally misses us. But here's the deal, Jody, places like I love the Outer Banks, they're going to get snow. Yeah. Raleigh, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, they're going to get the snow, and not you.
It's been a south year for the snow.
Yeah, it really has a lot more snow, as you get down towards DC and Richmond than it has been for us. But we're still at a respectable 15 inches for the year.
Don't freeze on me before you say the answer. You froze. Say it again.
A respectable 15 inches so far for the year.
What's the average? Like 20 something?
Almost 30. So it's
it used to be 30. It's been a while. I'm going to revise that. I don't think we get 30 anymore.
It's a rolling 30-year average, just so you know. But yeah, it's
the rolling 5 or 10-year average is going to be less than that. But we still have time. I was going through my Facebook memories. This time of year has been very snowy.
Just last year, as a matter of fact. I think that's what you were pointing out. But that was really the only thing we had last year.
Right, but 8 years ago, 4 years ago, they all came up.
Yeah, it's a very active time, and even as we get to the tail end of winter here, March can be one of those deals that'll drop some decent snowfall.
We get one big one in March usually. Well, we used to. Once again, I'm calling the new rules on this. We used to, although this winter has definitely felt colder.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, we were below average in December and January. We're just about average for February, but it has been much colder than the last 2 years. You're right.
That last thing we said, since all of the snow and this cold has been to the south as well, there's some nice ski resorts in Virginia.
Right, snowshoe.
Yeah, and did you see the Massanutten down there?
I was thinking West Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they have some nice resorts down there that maybe some years don't have as much, but they're getting crushed. They're loving it.
And honestly, because it's been cold, everybody's been able to make snow. So. It's been a banner year for any of the.
And I got to get out. I haven't been out skiing a couple of years now. I'm going.
I haven't either. You're right. I need to do that.
All right. Maybe we'll go together.
And fall together?
No, I'm not touching you. I'll ski circles around you and follow my own. All right. That's fine. How's the new haircut? We're loving it. It's good.
It's a little more work, Joel D, but I'm trying.
Stay on top of it, brother. All right.
Literally.
We'll see you on the news.
See ya.
All right. There you go, guys. We are all caught up. 10 awesome minutes of news here on CBS 21 Next. Make sure that you have your likes, your notifications, that little bell. So whenever we're on, boop, you will know that we are ready to give you the news, the latest stuff that's happening. All right, stay safe out there, everybody. Stay warm if you can as well. We have some code blue situations in some of these cities to help out the people that don't have a place to stay. The homeless population can check those places out, and then maybe you check on the people that you know could be having some tough times in this cold weather. All right, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.